Hey guys, so I have had ample time to test out the 7th anniversary part 2 characters and as well as the battle system. Obviously, this is without a doubt the biggest battle system adjustment, biggest battle system change we have ever seen. So I just wanted to take a bit more time than usual to get accustomed to the changes, and I figured if I'm going to be doing a tier list or a top 10 video, I want to make sure that it's at least as accurate as possible before I jump into it. So what I'm going to do here is, instead of doing a top 10 video, which is what I typically do, I have done these in the past. This is actually going to be a tier list, so it's not going to be a strict ranking of, you know, the top 10 best characters in the game. But what I've done is I've basically put all of the relevant / meta competitive viable characters into a pool on the bottom here, which we can see. There definitely can probably be a few more characters you throw into the pool here that I just didn't want to put in. But whatever. I mean, I just kind of took who I see at least a little bit in PvP, and here we go. And / newer characters, right? Like, I can't really say I see a lot of Kid Goku, right? This guy, right? But I'm going to put him in here anyway because he's new and he's a premium character, so we're going to talk about him at some point in this video. I think what I'll do here is I will start with the Z tier, so the strongest characters, and I'll make my way down until we get all the way down to the lowest tier. I haven't actually planned out how I want to do each tier, so this is actually going to be a pretty spur of the moment thing as well. When I do my top 10 videos, I usually have a list planned out and I think about it, and I usually take a day between making the list and actually recording the video to you know, give myself a bit more time to reconsider some positions. But for this one, this is just going to be kind of, you know, my experience with PvP. At this point, I have already recorded my God rank grind. I am top 25 in the world, so I've played a lot of PvP this season. So let's go ahead and start with Z tier. And one other point I'll make as well before we jump in is I don't think each spot in the tier list is going to be basically like set in stone. So for example, for Z tier, we're going to put UI Goku here. I'm also going to take the Saiyan Saga, Kaioken Goku. I'm going to take Vegeta, and I'll probably take Cell here. This is not like a strict ranking, so like, oh, UI Goku is the best, or Kaioken Goku is the best. This is, I would call it loosely ordered, not completely irrelevantly ordered, but it's loosely ordered, meaning this is probably loosely what I would say. I think I'd actually do this. Again, it's not really actually ordered, but yeah, when I'm done with the list and I post this on like social media or whatever when the video goes up, I'm probably going to say, like, don't think of the order as mattering, because I don't really think it's that big of a deal. And the reason why I'm doing this format this time is just because I feel like there aren't that huge of gaps between most of the meta relevant characters right now. So we're going to eventually see characters in like B tier that could very easily compete with characters in Z tier. Obviously, Z tier characters are going to be better in my opinion, but it's not like the characters that are going to be in B tier are not going to be able to stand up to the characters in Z tier, because that's just not the case. And that's why I'm doing a tier list today. But yeah, I mean, in terms of Z tier, I think this is probably what I'd have. Are there any other characters down here that I'd want to put into Z tier? The only other character I think I'd actually consider for Z tier right now would be Ultra Hit. I'll talk about Ultra Hit probably when we get to S, but I'm going to leave him out of Z tier. It's close. If you want to put Ultra Hit here, I'm okay with that. Me personally, right now, I wouldn't. If this was part 1, prior to part 2 dropping, Hit would be here. He would be like number 2 or something. But we're going to leave Hit off here for now. I don't really know if I need to go into excruciating detail about UI Goku. We've all fought him a million times. The headlining character of part 1. He just has way too many tools. I think they actually gave him too many defensive mechanics that he doesn't need to have, but just seemingly has infinite amounts of unique gauge, infinite amounts of vanish. His damage is just ridiculous. A lot of times you're swapping into green characters to defend against him, and he just completely like demolishes the green character. So UI Goku, I think, is still, if you were going to ask me who the best character in the game is right now, I'd say UI Goku. I would. In part 1, I felt like there was a pretty significant gap between UI Goku and the rest of the game, but now I don't think that's the case so much anymore, which is another reason why I wanted to do this as a tier list. Part 2 characters, we have the Saiyan Saga, Vegeta, and Kaioken Goku. I like both these characters a lot. I don't think there's like a huge difference between both of them. Obviously, Goku is more centered around being an offensive character, although his defense is also really good. So I think the good thing about these two characters is that they're both really well-rounded, right? Goku is, again, I would say he is more offensively oriented, but His gauge is basically what I would consider Merge Zamasu's gauge, Fusion Zamasu's gauge. I feel like that's what that should have been when he dropped. Like, this is Fusion Zamasu done correctly, is basically how I would categorize this Kaioken Goku. The one thing I would say is a difference between Kaioken Goku and Vegeta is Kaioken Goku has one mechanic that I think is egregious to the level of being unfair. And I would equate this one mechanic to Ultra Majin Vegeta's green card. And Ultra Majin Vegeta's green card, you guys have heard me say this a million times, but that is one of the bigger mistakes they've made in the character design phases for a lot of, like, if you look at the past 7 years of this game, there's like a handful of mistakes you could really point out as individual mechanics. Majin Vegeta's green card is certainly one of those mistakes. I feel like it is completely overtuned to what it should have been. I feel similarly, probably not to the same exact degree, but I feel similarly about the Solar Flare with this character. The Solar Flare is insane. Let me actually pull up Goku's details here and we can take a look at why the Solar Flare is so ridiculous. So if we go down here, let's take a look at his green card. The Solar Flare, 40 key, he gets double card draw speed, he gets cover null, type neutral, and then he removes all of his he's immune to all attribute downgrades in normal conditions, and then he of course does flash, and then this other stuff is kind of like doesn't matter, but this is the thing that really matters. And the thing that matters the most is not even written on here. It's the fact that this is a short animation. Up until now, I don't believe we've ever had a short animation Solar Flare in the game. So this is the first time we've ever seen a short animation Solar Flare, which means you can kind of just stand in the back and just spam green cards. And that's very possible too, because on the Saiyan Saga team, Yajirobe is like the best bench character in the game, which you're going to have on your bench for Saiyan Saga. So you actually have access to 2 green cards in your deck as opposed to 1. So you really can just sit there and spam Solar Flares. And I think that's one of the reasons why I also feel like this UI Goku has to be like #1 right now, is because this UI Goku for the first 5 counts on entry is going to be immune to Solar Flare. So if you're this Goku and in the middle of a combo, you're just like clicking Solar Flares, the opponent can simply just swap into this guy, and that's the end of the combo because he's immune to it. So you're not going to be able to inflict this guy with Flash for the first 5 counts. But if you combo long enough with this character against UI Goku, you can sort of like get around this. Now, Vegeta is a character I would not say really has like one like unfairly broken mechanic like the Solar Flare that this Goku has, but Vegeta is just all around like one of the most well-rounded characters ever. I really do think he is like one of the most well-rounded characters ever. He's really good offensively, he's really good defensively, he has probably one of the most flexible second life mechanics we've ever seen. He has obviously it's a revive with a 7 count sub down when the enemy goes for a big attack when he's on standby, not restricted to certain teams. He is increasing his damage guard and damage when he fills up his unique gauge, and I really do feel like he pairs up pretty well with the overcharge / overdrive new mechanics we've gotten, because his gauge sort of acts as like a double whammy situation where you can like charge at the same time, fill up your overdrive gauge, but at the same time you're filling up his unique gauge too. This Vegeta, let me actually go to this Vegeta, has a really ridiculous mechanic too, which is, where is it? This one right here. Based on strike / blast arts uses, the 4th time he uses a strike or blast, he's drawing basically a full hand of cards, which is kind of insane. And the reason, well, I guess one of the reasons why it's pretty easy to get that consistently active is he does have cover null for 5 counts, and it's actually pretty important that's when he uses a card, right? Goku gets cover null when he enters the field for 5 counts, and that's what actually most characters do now, right? Like UI Goku has that as well. Enters the battlefield as 5 counts of cover null, but this Vegeta getting cover null when he uses a strike or a blast card, I really like leading with this character. I think he's a good character just to kind of get like your overcharge going, not really necessarily pressing cards right away, and then you can kind of save the cover null for when you actually get priority with him. But the reason why this is so easy to get is because you have 5 counts of cover null, so you really usually only are able to get in like 3 arts cards before you lose cover null. But then a lot of times, because you got 2 greens in your deck, you can just use the green card, and then off of the green card he is getting cover null again. 5 counts of nullify cover null again, draws an extra card, unique gauge fills up, and then you can kind of snowball from there. He's getting more card draw speed whenever his unique gauge is consumed. It's pretty easy, again, pretty easy to get this as long as you're focusing on getting his overcharge up, and that's something that you should be doing for not just this guy, for every character. And then of course he's very, very powerful once he's revived. He gets stacked up a lot of stack up a lot of damage inflicted. If you filled up his unique gauge multiple times, he's going to have 200% plus damage guard active as well. He's got some pretty good disrupt. If you filled his gauge up, he's going to be, I think it's lowering key by 30, destroying 2 cards. He's got a long range green, which makes him go type neutral as well now once he's revived. This guy's a really, really crazy character. I really think this Vegeta is, from what I've seen, I think he's pretty underrated by a lot of players. So I really think both Vegeta and this Kaioken Goku are both exceptionally good. And then when we talk about teams also, I think the Saiyan Saga team is one of, if not the single best team in the game right now. It's really insane. Both the Part 2 characters together. The Saiyan Saga team really does almost feel like it's the intended version of what DB should have been. All right, DB was the April monthly celebration. It was not exactly the greatest success ever, but you look at Vegeta's damage guard and damage inflicted numbers, you look at Kaioken Goku's damage inflicted and damage guard numbers, and you're talking 200% plus damage guard at all times. Kaioken Goku can reach levels 220, 240% damage guard. Like, he's just not taking damage. And that kind of just feels like it pushes the team up to another level when you also consider the fact that the Saiyan Saga equips are just really crazy. And then for UI Goku, I think Universe Reps is pretty good as well. I don't think Universe Reps, like pure Universe Reps, is quite as good as Saiyan Saga, but it is kind of right there. Pure Universe Reps, just because of UI himself. I think UI himself, it kind of pushes it over the edge a little bit. I don't think the actual team as a complete setup is better than Saiyan Saga, but UI is just so stupid. Then the last character in Z tier is Ultra Perfect Cell. This guy, I think, definitely did get helped a lot from the overdrive mechanic. I don't think it made him like, oh, it pushed him to best character in the game or anything like that, but he's very scary, right? You're running like Universe Reps, you have Kale and Caulifla, you can swap into Kale and Caulifla, but if you're fighting an opponent that has Cell and they have their overdrive going, like maybe you just don't want to switch. Maybe you're scared of Cell just overdriving you and killing you. So not only do you have to be aware now of Cell's ultimate, not only do you have to be aware of Cell's Rising Rush, but now you got to be aware of the overdrive mode. So there's just a lot of just raw destructive power coming from this Cell. On top of the fact that he has now a really good partner with the green Vegeta we just talked about from the Saiyan Saga. This guy plus Cell is like a very frightening core for powerful opponents. So right now we are kind of just waiting for the final piece of the puzzle for powerful opponent. If we just had like a really strong S tier level powerful opponent character, like the powerful opponent team is in contention for best team in the game. It's really, really crazy. Ideally, it would be like a blast-based powerful opponent character. People are talking about Part 3 maybe getting like a DBS Broly Ultra character. If DBS Broly as an Ultra came out and he was like mixed between Strike and Blast and he fit on this team, like he was like a purple character or a yellow character, like, yeah, I mean, at that point, powerful opponent is probably just the best team. Cell plus this guy plus a third character. But yeah, Cell is really good. I think the one weakness that Cell has is just the fact that he's not very powerful defensively. That's like kind of the one thing that holds him back when you compare him to Vegeta, when you compare him to Goku, when you compare him to UI Goku. It really is just like, we had the anniversary started and they really started pushing the damage guard numbers, like a lot, right? We had DB, dude, Demon King Piccolo released 2 months ago. 2 months ago, Demon King Piccolo dropped with 130% damage guard. Then Kid Goku dropped. What is he? He's got 150 and then an extra 10% when he's on a full DB setup. They put a condition on Kid Goku to get 160% damage guard. And then 2 months later, not even a month and a half later, a month later, after Kid Goku dropped, we get like Evolution Blue Vegeta in Part 1 who's got 200% damage guard. We got UI Goku, he's got 180. He's got endurance. He's got the stack, the cost increasing stacking. He's got the like all the, he's healing. Like this guy's got 200% damage guard. This guy's got like 200 to 240. And then Cell is just sitting here. What does Cell have? He's got like 70% reduced damage received, right? He's got like the old style stuff. Yeah, 70% reduced damage received. Then he's got this 15% reduced impact and pierce damage received thing. He's got the half HP disrupt mechanic with sealing strikes and blasts. But that ain't stacking up to the defensive abilities that these characters have. And that's just the anniversary power creep, right? This is their new design philosophy, and it really does manifest itself defensively, right? Cell is not holding a candle defensively at all to these characters. And that's really the thing I think that holds him back a little bit. But offensively, he's still really, really scary. So I think Cell definitely deserves to be in Z tier right now. I think he's a very, very good character. Even with UI Goku being here, I think Cell can be pretty effective, right? Cell just rushes and UI Goku is dead. So that's going to round out Z tier for me here. We can start talking about S. I did start already mentioning Hit. Again, I think you can put Hit up here, but I'm going to put him in S tier. The one reason why I'm going to be putting Hit in S tier as opposed to Z tier is for two reasons, actually. The first one is going to be the Saiyan Saga team is really not that scared of Hit. The ideal Saiyan Saga lineup, and I'm going to explain this later as well, I think is Tien and then these two characters. So you got two second life characters, and even if you're running the variant where you're running this Goku, right? This Goku ain't dying to Hit's time skip. Okay, this guy is not dying to Hit's time skip. He's just not. He's way too tanky. So you can run the variant of Tien or this Goku, and regardless, you're really not worried about the time skip whatsoever. Even if like Vegeta gets caught by the time skip, what, Hit's gonna take his first life with a time skip? Sure, like it really does not matter too much. And then the other thing is the overdrive mechanic, right? If you're in overdrive mode, you're taking less damage from the time skip. So you have a character like Kaioken Goku who gets caught by Hit's time skip. You're in overdrive mode. Even if you're not in overdrive mode, Hit is filling this guy's gauge up constantly during the time skip mode, right? So is he going to kill this Kaioken Goku a lot of times when you got double HP? I think that's the best version of Saiyan Saga is Yajirobe and Kakarot Goku on the bench. Actually, that's only if you're running this version of the team, though, I guess. But even still, you got the 1 HP bench setup with Yajirobe. This guy's got like 3.8 million health. He's got 220% damage guard that can stack up higher. Is he dying to the time skip? Most likely not, unless he's pretty low on HP already. But if you're fighting an enemy using Hit, you're probably going to be more conscious of how much HP your guy's going to be at here. So I think Hit is still really good. Hit can still, for sure, just like assassinate UI Goku. Hit destroys Cell. Hit can do a number to most characters in the game. But when it comes to the Saiyan Saga team, which I personally think is the best team right now, he's not as effective against them, and so for that reason, I don't really want to put him in Z tier, but he's like on the border between these two, so I'll leave him in S for now. The next character we're going to put in S is Super Saiyan 4 Daima Goku. We'll talk about the Daima team a little bit later, but I guess we can kind of preface what I'm going to say right now, and it is the Daima team has a horrible matchup against the Saiyan Saga team, and a lot of what we're going to talk about in this video is just going to be riding on how good I think the Saiyan Saga team is. Daima, to me, almost feels like a worse version of the Saiyan Saga team. Daima is more of like a zombie-esque team to me than Saiyan Saga, right? Where Daima takes damage, right? Majin Vegeta takes a lot of damage. At this point, the Super Saiyan 4 Goku takes a lot of damage. All the other Daima characters tend to take a lot of damage, but the healing is unmatched. There is no other team in the game that is healing as much as the Daima team. Even if you're running Saiyan Saga with this blue Goku on it, Daima is still out healing you, right? Majin Vegeta is healing 15% when he swaps out. You've got ridiculous subcount manipulation. You've got insane disrupt. This character with the buff removal on standby when anyone on your team gets hit is still really, really strong. But Daima is not stacking up to Saiyan Saga, but that doesn't mean the Daima team can't win against Saiyan Saga, right? Daima, I think, probably has like a 30-70, 25-75 matchup versus Saiyan Saga in favor of Saiyan Saga, obviously, but this guy is still extremely powerful. I think we're like one release away on Daima from Daima once again being just really stupid, right? They release like a Goma, like, I don't know, let's just say the August celebration is like half Daima, half something else, and the one like main premium Daima character we get in August is like a Goma. And Goma is just like an unkillable tank that is supporting and has like indestructible or whatever. All of a sudden, I feel like Daima could match these characters. Daima can match UI Goku. Daima can match Saiyan Saga. But we are kind of like one release away, and we'll see. We'll see what they want to do here, but I do think this guy is still really good. Again, the buff removal is still crazy as a mechanic. The fact that you can't really combo for a ton before you have to switch out and get cover null again. This guy's last man standing capabilities are really strong, but at the end of the day, like I said with Cell, this character is like a new design philosophy character, which means that the damage guard numbers, the damage inflicted numbers aren't quite stacking up to the new age characters. This guy's entering with 70% reduced damage received. This guy's entering with 200% damage guard. Like, it's just different. It's just the numbers are not there. So mechanic wise, I don't really know if like Kaioken Goku or Vegeta are really even on the same level as this character, but it's just the numbers are so much higher for these guys. And that's exactly what they said they were going to do, and they're doing it. So All right, the next character we're going to talk about is Ultra Majin Vegeta. I don't really think this character has gotten significantly worse, really. I mean, again, I don't think he has a great matchup versus Saiyan Saga, but he can still be pretty effective. AoE greens are kind of just an unageable mechanic almost. So Majin Vegeta, I think, can do decent work. Obviously, even against someone like Kaioken Goku, this guy, I mean, again, I'll say it. His green card, one of the biggest mistakes ever. Why? Because even against someone like Kaioken Goku, he's getting immunity to card destruction, and he's going type neutral. Right? So, like, all the things that Kaioken Goku is going for him defensively against Majin Vegeta can kind of get around it with just this green, right? This Kaioken Goku, when his gauge fills up, he's destroying 2 cards, and he's getting damage guard. But, like, this guy's going type neutral, and he's immune to the card destruction. So, I'm not saying he's got a good matchup versus Kaioken Goku. Kaioken Goku hits this guy twice, and he's, like, pretty much dead. But Majin Vegeta, I wouldn't say is, like, out of the count because of Saiyan Saga now existing. He's worse. I mean, for sure. He's worse for Saiyan Saga existing, right? I don't think... Like, if I'm using Saiyan Saga and I see the opponent using Majin Vegeta, I'm not, like, quivering in my boots anymore, right? At the thought of Majin Vegeta just sitting there with his gauge up, right? It's still annoying. I still got to play around the AoE green. I still got to play around his gauge. Still got to play around his disrupt and Dragon Ball destruction and lock-in and all these things, but I'm much less scared of fighting him with the Saiyan Saga team because I know that I just have the sheer numbers to deal with him. But obviously this guy's still going to be really, really strong, so I'm going to put him in S. So I mean, again, you could like swap him here, whatever you want to do. Next character I'll take is going to be Tien. I think Tien and Chaozu do make up the ideal Saiyan Saga team. I am probably going to, for that reason, I'll just put this guy here for now. I'll put this blue Goku in A for now. I think you probably could, if you wanted to, move him up to S, but I'll put him in A. And the main reason why I'm putting this guy here, and the main reason why I think Tien and Chaozu are a better third fit for the Saiyan Saga team than this Goku, is for one reason. Can you guys guess what the one reason is? 3, 2, 1. It's the Solar Flare. It's the Solar Flare. If you are running the version of Saiyan Saga with this blue Goku, Kaioken Goku, and Grade 8 Vegeta, you only have 1 second life character with this Vegeta. So if this Vegeta is not ready to swap in immediately and you get Solar Flared, you're getting rushed. Right? This guy gets Solar Flared, you're rushed. This guy gets Solar Flared, you're rushed. However, with the Tien setup, Tien gets Solar Flared and you get rushed, you just revive. Right? So I think that is a real, like, the Solar Flare is going to be one of those mechanics where it's like in 3 months from now, I think people will still be talking about how annoying the Solar Flare is. It is, and I mentioned this right when the character dropped and they did the Solar Flare animation in the preview. I'm like, oh god, here we go. Solar Flare, yeah, it's time, boys. But yeah, I think the biggest difference is the Solar Flare, and it's not like, it's not like, oh, it's just 1 card. How can you say that this, setup isn't ideal because of 1 green card? Well, it's because this Goku is in like every other match, at least. This Goku's in like every match almost. This Kaioken Goku. Super, super common character to fight against. So if you're fighting this character in like 80% of the matches you're queuing into, you really got to play around it a lot. And that's not me saying this Goku is not good, because he's certainly a crazy third character for Saiyan Saga. I just think this character is not super far behind this Goku in what he's doing. This character has much easier access to cover null. They are able to combo for much longer because of the tag mechanic. They generate green cards, which can actually help you win against... Like, if you're in a Saiyan Saga mirror match and you are running the Tien variant of the Saiyan Saga team versus the opponent who's running this variant of the Saiyan Saga team, the person who's running the Tien variant of the team is just at an innate advantage over the other person because of the fact that they can generate more green cards, get more solar flares off, and just like trap the opponent and kill them with a rush. So I think this Tien is a bit more of a better fit for the Saiyan Saga team than this blue Goku, which is why I'm going to put Tien here, and I'll put this Goku here. But again, if you want to put him here, I think that's fine. It's just in the mirror match, like this is the better pick. The next character will be Kielan Khalifa. I think this character is very good. Actually, one of my most hated characters of the year so far. So super annoying. You get the pleasure of watching their green card animation like 9,000 times in a row per match. It's very fun. But yeah, I don't really know if there's much I need to really say about Kielan Khalifa. They're just a very good 1% sparking character. They're supporting. They got really good disrupt. They're healing a ton. Easy access to cover null. I think maybe with the overdrive mechanic, they maybe got a little worse from part 1. I don't really know if it's not like significant enough to really like knock them for it though, because like you could argue you activate their disrupt, which previously would have destroyed your hand. What is it? Seal your main, lock you in, seal your rush, but they're not sealing your overdrive, right? They're not sealing your overdrive attack. So that is one thing you could say, but I don't really know how much I would consider that into like bumping them down a tier or whatever. But I think they're pretty good. I think they're a solid addition to Universe Reps, and them next to UI Goku is a really, really annoying duo to fight against. The next character will be God Goku. I think God Goku, again, is just kind of like holding his ground as a solid character. I actually think God Goku is a very good partner for this Goku. Can you guys guess why? 3, 2, 1. Hey, that's right, the solar flare. You guys got it, the solar flare, dude. This is the same interaction that, if you guys remember, back when Majin Vegeta first dropped, what people did when Majin Vegeta first dropped is they would run him on movies next to Tree of Might Goku and Turles. Whenever you have a AoE green character and a long-range green character on the same team, pretty much every tackle becomes a 50-50. Pretty much every tackle. And it's just ridiculous. Like I feel like that shouldn't exist. And this is why I just hate AoE greens. Like AoE greens create so much just uncertainty and just like cheesy priorities. It's just, I don't like the concept of AoE green cards, but it is what it is. They're in the game. If you are running Kaioken Goku and God Goku together, and you have either one of these characters on the team, and you're swapped in with Kaioken Goku, if you're transformed into like the actual Kaioken times 3 Goku portion of this character, and you go for a tackle on the opponent with a green card in your hand, here are the 3 possible options. Your opponent gets hit by the tackle, and you sidestep with Kaioken Goku. Kaioken Goku hits them with the AoE green. You tackle your opponent. Your opponent counters your tackle with a strike. You simply go into this guy, use your AoE green, you got priority. So 2 out of 3 times you're getting priority, right? Because the third option is your opponent simply vanishes your tackle. And if your opponent vanishes your tackle, you're at an advantage anyway. So there really isn't a disadvantage to you going for tackles in mid-range with Transform Kaioken Goku if you have a green card with this guy in your team, because 2 out of 3 times you're going to get priority from it. So I think this guy does pair up really well with God Goku. Again, I make the same comment I'm going to make with most characters here, but in the face of the Saiyan Saga team, a lot of these 7th anniversary characters now, this guy does take a lot of damage, right? Vegeta comes in, Vegeta hits God Goku with like 3 blasts, and he's like dead. Same thing with like Goku, right? Goku enters the battlefield, hits him with 3 strikes, and he's dead. So not really the greatest bulk ever, but I do think God Goku's still a pretty solid unit here. AoE green, he's got the buff removal when the enemy uses an ultimate. I guess maybe Cell with the overdrive is now a bit of a thing that this guy needs to be aware of, but that's true for like every character in the game now. But I think God Goku's still very good, for sure. All right, so now we're going to move on to A tier. I think that's pretty much everyone I wanted to add an S. There is one character you... Actually, no, there are 2 characters I think you probably could make an argument for S, and it's this guy and it's this guy. So I'll just put them in A tier. Would I want to put either one of these guys in S? I feel like you could definitely make an argument for either of them. This guy I definitely see more than Beast right now, reviving UI Goku. And that's the reason for this is because there's like 4 really good Universe Reps characters right now that make the core Strike version of Universe Reps. And it's UI, Hit, Kel Khalifa, and this guy. This guy's not a Strike character, but he still makes the Strike version of Universe Reps because of how versatile this character is and because of his second life mechanic. You could put him here. I think I will put him here, actually. We'll put him in S. We'll put him in S. If you want to put him in A, it's fine. I'm going to put him in S. This guy is interesting because I don't think this guy, like if you look at what he's doing in a vacuum, he's not the most crazy unit of all time. He's a second life auto dodging character. So he's just like the definition of annoying, right? He's getting greens that now give him 70% vanish back when he draws them. He's drawing a green when he vanishes. He's getting a full hand with his main ability so he can build up, or I guess buy you time. And also he gets damage for doing that now. He's pretty squishy in base, but then of course he revives into UI Goku. And a lot of the time when you're running this character, you are also of course running the blue UI Goku. So you got 2 UIs now on the team. It's just very, very tough to get a grip on them. And yeah, I don't know. How much do we want to factor in the charge attack when we talk about this character? Right, I didn't really talk about it when we talked about UI Goku because I feel like there's ways around it. If you just try and be a bit more like, the biggest trap with the charge attack for UI users is you just don't do anything, right? If you just stand there like a typical UI user, or you see the opponent is overcharging and you start jumping around like a madman because you have no idea what's going on, you're going to get charge attacked because it's super easy to predict when you're going to jump and you could catch somebody in the sidestep with a charge attack. But if you're aggressive and you throw blasts and you tackle and stuff like that with UI Goku, that can throw the opponent off who's overcharging. I don't know how much we want to factor that into this guy, because this guy doesn't have the same tools at all that this character has to deal with like mid-range and I guess like scuffles in mid-range and close range, right? I do think he's solid though. I mean, his damage isn't the greatest. His blue card really is the bread and butter of this character. Once you've revived with this guy, his blue card is really what defines him. But I'm not sure how much I want to move him up or down because of just like the blue card damage, right? His damage outside of that is not the greatest. He gets uncancelable cover null when he's revived, which means you can Rising Rush Beast Gohan. Sure, I don't really see Beast Gohan that often anymore. I'll put him here, but you know, you can put him in top of A or, you know, somewhere in here too. It's fine. Again, the placements within the tiers aren't really that set in stone. So Beast Gohan, I think, is still a very good character, but when you talk about number power creep, damage inflicted, damage guard, reduced damage received, this guy really kind of is starting to show his age. He takes massive damage from all the new characters. UI Goku comes in, hits him with 1 blue, he's dead. Kaioken Goku comes in, hits him with like 2 strikes, he's dead. Green Vegeta even hits him with like 3 blasts and he's dead. His disrupt is still effective. I think one thing about this character that actually people don't really realize is that he doesn't get affected by the solar flare. I think it's for 3 times. Let me actually double check this. He has he's immune to, let me see. Falling effects Cronus character enters the battlefield. Here we go. Nullifies own attribute downgrades on normal conditions for 10 counts. So the first 3 times he enters the battlefield, he is immune to things like paralysis, faint, solar flare, flash. So you can actually, if your opponent goes for a solar flare with this Goku in the middle of a combo, you can actually switch into Beast and essentially get a combo off of that. Because a lot of times when the opponent goes for solar flare, it's going to be in like mid or close range. And if you switch into Beast Gohan, you can kind of just capitalize on that because he's going to be immune and you can start a combo on the Goku with that. But Special Beam Cannon is still really good. I think this guy can still do decent damage with his ultimate because he's going to go type neutral with the main ability. But I do really think Beast is starting to age now. And it's just the fact that he's 6-7 months old at this point. So I think he's still good. Like if you are just like somebody who enters the battlefield with Beast Gohan, spams like 3 strikes, finishes with a blue card, he's still going to do a lot of damage. Right, even against somebody like UI Goku, even against somebody like Majin Vegeta. I mean, Majin Vegeta's not new, but like this green Vegeta, it's going to be a bit less effective against this Goku because this Goku's red. This Goku really hurts Beast a lot, right? Because like you try and combo with Beast Gohan, the opponent just simply goes to this Goku. This guy is like, Beast is not doing enough damage to get around this guy's gauge at all. It's like, it's not even close. Like this Goku completely walls off Beast. And that's what I'm talking about when it comes to like the numerical power creep. Just the damage guard amounts is just ridiculous. Like it's too high of a wall for this guy to overcome at this point with the new characters that have type advantage. And that is what we're starting to see with some of these other characters too, like Majin Vegeta, God Goku. So yeah, I think I like Beast still. I think he's a good character, but he is aging. He is definitely aging. So. And even the Special Beam Cannon, right? Like, you're fighting the Saiyan Saga team with Beast Gohan, let's just say. This guy goes for a drop combo Special Beam Cannon. This guy's taken, like, 40% of his HP from it. And then he's transforming and healing it all off. So, yeah. I don't know. I do like Beast still, but it's, you know, I would not be surprised if we got the Ultras in Part 3 and Beast was, like, here. So, we'll see. Who else are we gonna put here in A tier? I think we can grab this guy, Evolution Blue Vegeta. I'll make the same statement I made on the last video, the last top 10 I made. I think I like this guy a little bit more than most people do, but I mean, there's a reason you don't see him. There's a reason you don't see him in PvP. I did my whole God rank. I think maybe I saw him once in like 25 matches or something, like one time. And the person I fought against who's using this guy like forfeited in like 10 seconds. I don't know. It feels like almost that this Vegeta, the way that they made this guy a comboing character, was much better designed given the constraints that they have with the new design philosophy than this guy, right? They made a lot of change to the battle system. There's much less of an incentive now to go for long combos. And the biggest thing that I think hurts this Vegeta more than anything else is if you just combo forever with this Vegeta. First of all, if you're comboing against this Goku is literally probably going to be healing for more damage than this guy's even doing over the course of his combo. And then the second thing is you're just giving your opponent a free overdrive mode. If you're just comboing your opponent for like, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14 cards in a row, your opponent is walking out of that probably happy that you comboed them for that long. So I think the entire design of this character almost goes against a lot of the most recent battle system changes. So I am not a huge fan of the way that they designed this character, but I think if you utilize him effectively, he can be decent. But this guy needed to be like this is an instance where I'm not looking at like Fusion Zamasu where I'm like, okay, Fusion Zamasu is missing like these 2 or 3 things that I think could have made him really good. The entire design around this character, I think, is flawed from the ground up, right? There's not like 1, 2, or 3 things I'd change about this character. I would just go back to the drawing board with the design of this character. I don't think I would change like any 1 or 2 things with this guy. The entire premise behind having a character that is built around doing long combos is just not, it doesn't really exist anymore, right? Even like Majin Vegeta, when you're using Majin Vegeta, you're not doing these 99 combos much anymore. You're getting priority with the AoE green, you're stopping enemy combos with his gauge, you're locking in and killing them with the ult. You're not really doing like 10, 12, 14, 16 card combos with Majin Vegeta anymore. I mean, he can do that. He has the potential to, but the value isn't there anymore because of the way the game works. So that's the biggest issue with this character. But again, I think he can kind of be effective. You throw him with like Kaba, who will also put in A tier. And the reason why I'm putting Kaba here is I like Kaba as 1% sparking, but Kaba is making like the B team of Universe Reps. Right? Universe Reps, I think you have Kale and Caulifla, UI Goku, Hit, and then this guy are your 4 main go-tos for Universe Reps. It's tough to get Kaba involved. And I'm also not really sure why they decided to go down the path of giving like a split in Universe Rep team, right? You have like the Strike Universe Rep characters, and then you have the Blast Universe Rep characters. Why are you splitting it up? Why not just make the whole team, why not make the whole team trying to achieve the same objective? Isn't that like the goal of what you want to do with these characters? I don't know. Kaba's good. I think I would say Vegeta is good, but I think if you really wanted to make this a headlining 7th anniversary part 1 character, his design needed to be changed. So unfortunately, I'm going to put him in A here. I think we could just take the Daima Trio here. Just put all these guys in A. I feel like that works pretty well here. Put all these guys in A tier. Majin Ku, I'll go back to what I was saying with Daima when I talked about Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Daima has a pretty bad matchup against Saiyan Saga, and I think one of the main reasons why the matchup is as bad as I think it is because these guys don't care as much about Majin Ku. Right? Majin Ku, again, I mean, it's really similar to what we talked about with like Beast Gohan and Majin Vegeta and God Goku, where it's like this new age, just like monstrous number power creep where Goku enters the battlefield, rips his shirt off, 400% damage inflicted. Majin Ku switches in, he just gets trounced. Majin Ku switches in. He's annoying. He's got really good disrupt. He's paralyzing you sometimes, but Goku just kicks him in the face and he's dead, right? I mean, it gets solar flared, right? And Vegeta is just completely immune to paralysis. So yeah, it's tough to really get as much value out of Majin Buu as we used to. I think it's probably a good thing because his design is just not good. But Majin Buu is still healing a lot. He's still supporting an insane, amazing, was it 50% support to Daima characters for damage inflicted. He's got the Dragon Ball destruction. He's got the Vanish restores with his green car. Like, he's still got a lot going for him, and I still think he's a good character. But specifically against the Saiyan Saga team, which again I think is the best team right now, I don't think he is doing enough to warrant him being anything above A right now. And then you could kind of look at the UI Goku in a similar way, right? UI Goku was also given tools, and the same thing with Vegeta too, but I think Vegeta has a horrible matchup versus Daima in particular. UI Goku was given tools to deal with Daima as well. So like, they are dropping these characters, and it seems very apparent to me as well. Like, we're going into the anniversary, and like, they are giving these headlining characters, part 1 and 2 headlining characters, the tools to deal specifically with Daima, because they knew it was an issue. Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta and this Goku, I guess I'll just put them like kind of in the same area here. I feel like you can kind of use either one on Daima. I think I might prefer this Goku now over Vegeta as like a core Daima character. And the reason why is just because you can find yourself in a situation with this Goku where you just lock in and kill UI Goku. This Daima Goku, what is it? Increases the enemy sub count by 2 when he lands a strike or a blast for the first time. You can get kills off of that against UI Goku, and that's something that Vegeta can't do. I think Vegeta overall is much easier to use. He's got the easy access to cover null. He's drawing you more cards. He's a character that I think is a really good like third character, to where he is just entering the battlefield after you've already done a combo and finishing the combo off with like 3 strikes where he's type neutral. Right? I think Vegeta is a very solid character, but I think right now in the environment of the game, I do think I prefer to use this Goku. Just the Dragon Ball generation he's supporting. I do think this Goku is a little bit more valuable right now, but it's pretty close. As like a third character on Daima, it's Ku, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and then Vegeta or Goku. And I think I'd probably side with Goku a little bit here, but this guy's still really good. So I don't know. I don't need to talk about Daima characters. You guys know how the team is. And then for B tier, you know what I'm actually thinking? Is there a need to like separate any of these guys off? Like, do I just put all of these guys in B tier? I could briefly talk about them, I guess. Kid Goku is, I don't know, like, he dies to Kaioken Goku. Cell is not good for him. Hit is not good for him. I don't really know what to really say here. If DB was like a legit team, like if Demon King Piccolo was like here, and then Jackie Chun or Tambourine were like also like where Tien is, this guy would probably be here as well. But am I really using like a Sun Family team or a Saiyan team with Kid Goku when I could just use like these 3 or God Goku and these 2 Gokus? I don't know. I don't think so. So like, where is this guy used right now? I don't know. I think B is a solid spot for him. I mean, you could maybe put him in A if you wanted to. He's probably the character that's like most on the cusp, probably between A and B. But I'm going to put him in B for now. We can just go down the list here. We can go from right to left, I guess. Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, I think, is still a solid character just because of how many tools he has available to him. But his damage really has fallen off. I mean, you start comboing like Kaioken Goku with this Gohan, that's where you really see the huge numerical power creep, right? This Gohan, could this Gohan even damage this character? Right, this Gohan shoots off like 4 blasts against Kaioken Goku. Is Kaioken Goku just healing for more than this Gohan is doing? But that's not to say this Gohan still isn't really usable. He's got the AoE green, which of course is, I think, guess what, guys? Guess what mechanic has gotten stronger now that we have overcharging in the game? If you're fighting against somebody that's overcharging in mid-range, they can't escape AoE greens. That's the one huge downside. And actually, this is something I think they actually should change because I just hate AoE greens. If you're overcharging in mid-range and the opponent just goes for an AoE green, you can't do anything about it. You're just gonna get hit by it because you can't backdash out of the overcharge. That's something I think they should add. I think if you are overcharging and you're in the overcharging animation, you should be able to backdash out of it. I think so. I don't know why you can't. Because again, you just see somebody overcharging in mid-range, you just AoE green. That's it. Free priority. So he has that. He has the auto counter gauge against strikes, which is still good. He's got the counter blue, which is still useful, and he's got the main ability and rising rush ceiling with his main ability. Overall, he's got some good tools, but I just don't think I'd really put him above B, because he's just, at this point, he is just power corrupt. He is. Vegito blue is solid. He's just really squishy, really squishy. Like, Vegito blue can put a number on UI Goku. He can do a number to him in terms of damage, kind of like thwarting him, just kind of standing there doing nothing. Like this, the double UI setup I mentioned earlier. You have Revival UI Goku, you have the blue UI Goku. They're kind of just like changing between each other and buying time with their dodging gauges. It's really tough to get a jump on them. Vegito blue can just come in, tackle them, and start a combo. Or come in, blast them in mid-range, start a combo. But on the other side of things, this guy could die to blue UI Goku. Blue UI Goku goes type neutral when you have a dead ally. His blue card will just one-shot this character. Like, I think there's like any character from Z to A could tear this guy in half, right? His defenses are pretty bad. He's got the sub count manipulation. He's got the buff removal. He's got the half HP disrupt, which is kind of like okay. Offensively, I think he's fine, right? Again, we'll kind of talk about the long combo thing with him as well. It's not really a thing anymore. You're not going to combo the opponent for 12 cards in a row, because that's just going to give them overdrive now. So yeah, I mean, he's good. I think he's solid here, but he's not going to be A or S or anything. So I'm going to put him in B. Ultra Rose I like. I think it's kind of just a similar thing with Ultra Rose 2. It's just, you're comboing Kaioken Goku with Ultra Rose, and he's healing, and he's not, the opponent's not switching. You're not getting card draw speed off of it. You're not really able to snowball off of it. You can ult, Rose can ult the Saiyan Saga team all they want, but Saiyan Saga team is just going to stand there and eat it, pretty much. He goes for the paralysis with his blue card. Vegeta just doesn't get paralyzed because he's immune to it. And then the same argument I'll make for Rose that I did with Vegito Blue is just his defenses are pretty bad defenses. So, Ultra Rose gets touched one time by Majin Vegeta, he's dead. Time skipped by a hit, he's dead. God Goku AoE greens him, and then, you switch into Kaioken Goku and Solar Flare, and he's dead. There's a lot of instances, like TN probably can just like one-shot him with the blue too, right? I mean, I think Rose was given a decent platinum equipment, 3 months ago? 4 months ago now? I think it was 4 months ago. I think it was in February. 4.5 months ago. But yeah, it's just anniversary power creep has hit him. Shallot I'll put in B as well. I actually really like what they've done for Shallot. I don't think Shallot is like some meta slayer that a lot of people are making him out to be. But I think he's in a good spot. For a character that everybody gets for downloading the app, I think he's pretty good, right? And I'll make the same statement that I made at the beginning of this video. Just because a character is in B tier doesn't mean they can't beat a character in Z tier, right? Shallot can come in, Super Saiyan 3 Shallot with the Metal Cooler movie Goku blue card comes in and just like one-shots UI Goku. It could happen. In fact, it probably does happen. But when you look at everything that Shallot is doing, I don't really know if I can have him above B. Again, he's fine. He's really tanky, actually, with the platinum equipment. He's got some of the highest damage card. He's in the S tier boost in PvP. He's healing a ton. He's got a really good Z ability if you just throw him on leader, right? He's got the HP Z ability. That means you can kind of get away with not using another HP Z ability for the rest of the team. And yeah, he's pretty good. His damage is okay. I feel like a lot of his damage probably just comes from the blue cards that you're going to give him. You can give him some annoying blue cards too, like the Blaster Shell for Feint. You can give him the Chilled blue card for Paralysis, and you could give him the Metal Cooler, the EX Metal Cooler blue card, which I made a video on for the Endurance Nullification. But he doesn't have a lot of these modern mechanics. Like, he gets Cover Null when he fills up his unique gauge if you're using the blue Shallot version. And that's really it, right? Not having easy access to cover null is definitely a problem, right? When we start talking about the best characters in the game, I mean, look at like Vegeta, UI Goku, Kaioken Goku, even like Majin Vegeta, Kale and Caulifla, Beast Gohan, like they all have pretty easy access to cover null. All these characters do, all of them, except for this guy. But I think Shallot does have a lot of stats going for him, which helps him a lot. So that's good. Blue 17, again, it's tough for him to get onto the Universe Reps team. And Androids is not really a team. I mean, they're missing a third, right? Cell, of course, is really good. This guy is like a decent second for Androids, but Androids needs a third. If Androids had like a really, really strong third character that was like a tank, like a wall character, I could maybe see 17 moving up to A potentially, but this is a character that came out January 2023, and all he has is a unique equipment, and he's still here. That's pretty impressive on its own. But I think 17, again, he's like a good third character. I think he's good at stalling. He's good at keeping the team alive with the healing and the power down on the opponent whenever they use blues and ultimates. He's got buff removal, he's got endurance. Like he's a good character. He's got a really, really solid foundation of good core mechanics that he was given when he first dropped. So I'm not going to knock 17. I think he's a really strong character, but I can't put him in the same listing as like A and S tier characters here. Super Saiyan 3 Goku is kind of just, a prisoner to the most recent battle system changes with, not trying to promote long combos. And now him giving the opponent overdrive when he combos, and he's not really doing much damage at this point either, right? Like this guy combos Kaioken Goku, and Kaioken Goku just eats it. I guess the one thing about this character though that is pretty interesting is he is debuffing HP restore. Actually, it's something that Kaioken Goku does that I forgot to mention as well, but I feel like it's a lot more prevalent on this character because of how much more he's comboing. This guy is stacking HP restoration down debuffs, right? So that's interesting because it means that even though Kaioken Goku is kind of eating the damage, he's not going to be able to heal a lot of it back up because of that. So that's pretty good. But again, I'd probably put him in like the same boat as like Vegeta Blue, Rose, Kid Goku. Like he's good. You could make it work with this character. You certainly can beat Saiyan Saga, and you could beat Universe Reps with Super Saiyan 3 Goku, but he's definitely not as good as he was like 3 months ago, 2 months ago even. So yeah, I'm gonna put him in B. Goku and Frieza, again, similar to like 17, I guess. Like they're probably helping the team a little bit less. They just have like the super anti-Rising Rush mechanic. I feel like Goku and Frieza got hurt a lot, actually, though, by the overdrive mechanic, right? They're here. Actually, that is something I forgot to mention with Beast Gohan, too, right? Beast Gohan with his Rising Rush counter. Beast Gohan just gets overdrived by Kaioken Goku, gets overdrive by Vegeta, gets overdrive by UI, gets overdrive by Cell, and he's dead, right? I mean, that is another issue with Beast right now. Same thing with Goku and Frieza. Right? Goku and Frieza are there to counter the Rising Rush, the biggest attack in the game. Well, they can't counter overdrive, so this character gets overdrived by like Majin Vegeta. Boom. Goodbye. Kale and Caulifla overdrive this character. Oh, that's dead. That's death. They're dead. So I feel like they could be decently effective, right? They have the Vanish Restore when they go into Frieza. They have the card draw speed. They have the hand refill with the green card. They're sealing blues. I think they're sealing strikes with the green card. The seal slot effect that Frieza has is actually still really annoying. But outside of that, I don't really know. They're okay. They're okay. Future Gohan and Trunks, again, they're also in the same boat that I talked about with a lot of these other like infinite combo characters, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Vegeta Blue. I do think they're probably a little bit better than a lot of these characters in B tier, but I'm still going to put them in B tier because I don't know if I'd put them in A, right? I mean, are they really stacking up to these A tier characters? I don't know. Maybe you could make an argument for them to be an A, but I'll put them in B here. Again, you can kind of put them wherever you want, but they are still a solid character. You just don't really want to utilize their biggest asset as much, which is their combo potential. It's the same thing with a lot of these other characters. and I don't really know if their teams are exceptional right now. Hybrid Saiyans is actually like in one of the worst spots we've seen in a long time. And the main reason why is because they've no defense, right? Beast Gohan is not defensive. Future Gohan and Trunks is not defensive. This Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan is not defensive. You also have like Gotenks, who's not really defensive. Like, who else? Hybrid Saiyans is not in a particularly great spot right now. And again, a lot of that is because of the numerical power creep. Kaioken Goku's numbers, Vegeta's numbers, UI's numbers, even Cell's numbers, Hit's numbers. It's tough to overcome that when you're a character with like 70% reduced damage received and 20% damage inflicted and stuff like that. So, and then Demon King Piccolo we'll put in D because he's just what were they thinking? Demon King Piccolo, well, you know, A, B, C, D, K, P. And I don't think there's a brown color here. Yeah, that sucks. And there's no brown. Anyway. So there's going to be my tier list. I think we will round it out with this here. You guys can let me know what you think down below of the rankings. Again, please don't look too deep into the actual rankings in the tiers themselves. Just because I have like Super Saiyan 4 Goku doesn't mean I think he's actually better than Kale and Caulifla. Don't think this guy's better than this guy. I would say it's loosely ranked. Right, but the tiers, like, so I think the characters in Z tier are better right now in the current meta than the characters in S tier. That's really the way I would read this. But like, you can move characters around. Like, it doesn't really matter a ton. Like, however you want to do this, like, this is whatever. So let me know down below what you guys think. Do you agree or disagree with any of the placements? Do you think any of the characters in any of the tiers should be moved to other tiers? Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will see you in the next one.